everyone. Today this is an unboxing of the Tonor Cardioid condenser microphone. It's made for the studio really, but I'm going to be using it for all sorts of different things. Hopefully, if the quality is good enough. But I will do that in a later video where I do a review of it and a test. So this is just the unboxing of it, showing you what's in the box, its specifications, how much it cost, all that sort of thing. So I bought this off of Amazon, and it was $17.99 with Prime free shipping. So yeah, the box it's just got Cardioid condenser microphone. It's got the actual microphone on the front of it, except I got the black one, not the red one. Yeah. It on the back, it just shows you which, like, their range of microphones and what one you get. So I got the round one, I'd say, rather than the square one, and I got the black colour rather than the two. They come in blue, like a mauvey reddy colour, and a black. It's made in China. Yeah, made by Tonor. And I like, I like this. It says, I don't know if you can see that, it says open from here, which for people like me that don't know where to open boxes from, that is very helpful. So yes, so you just open it. I undone all of the sellotape and so on, because no one wants to see me struggling with sellotape. So you get the instructions. It comes in, I'm assuming that's Chinese writing, but then you will also get it in English too. Okay, so so the first overview of it, you get the microphone, you get a pop filter. That, yeah, I don't think I suppose it'd be okay. And then you also get a shock mount and a cable. Now this cable is XLR to mini jack, so it's a mini jack to XLR, which I wouldn't say is actually very useful in terms of this, unless you're plugging it into, if you're plugging it into, say, a Zoom H1 where it doesn't have an XLR import, then yeah, I guess that would be useful, or maybe a computer, but I really wouldn't recommend that, because it needs phantom power, so you won't get very good quality out of the microphone without phantom power. Which is what power. So I'm currently powering my microphone with the Zoom H6, but you could use something like a Focusrite interface or something similar. But yeah, it won't work very well without phantom power at all, really. Okay, so this is the microphone itself. I'll just readjust. So I've kind of ripped the plastic so that I'm not fiddling around with that too much. So it's nice and black. It's the Tonor E3000. It's got professional microphone written on the back there. It looks quite nice. I like that it's not as heavy as I expected it to be. But it looks quite nice. It unscrews here, so you can put this thing in there like that, and then screw it back down into place. Then you've got your pop filter on there like that. So that looks pretty cool. This can pop off, can pop out, but I'm not quite sure why you'd want to pop that out, but yeah. I don't know, it feels a bit wonky to me, like the the capsule at the front. Oh, let's just take this off a second. The capsule at the front feels like it's facing this way rather than facing forwards where the logo is. I feel like that's a bit off, but that's probably just me being a bit finicky. So it's an XLR at the bottom. So I'd, instead of using the cable that comes with it, I'd probably just use an XLR to XLR and get a recorder that has an XLR port. But that's just my personal preference. You can still use the cable that comes with it. Yeah, so that's what the microphone looks like. I'll just stick that back in there. And the casing itself is like moulded to the microphone, which is nice. And again, I've just ripped the plastic on the shock mount. And then this is just a shock mount that you pinch here and here to get the microphone in it. So we'll try that and see how that feels. So pinch and hold. So I kind of feel like, yeah, so it's a bit loose. Hang on, if I just do it from here. Okay, so it's not so bad. I must have been pressing the pinchy thing, but I don't know. I feel like it still makes quite a bit of noise. If I move it to the microphone, you can hear, like if you were to move it around or jog it by accident, I feel like it'd still make a little bit of noise, but that is supposedly there to stop the noise of the microphone if you were to be holding it, I guess, if you were to be holding it. So it is a mini screw rather than a big screw, but most stands come with the big screw. So like this is the big screwy head of a microphone stand, but then it also comes with a little one that then screws into this. So yeah, so it should be fine for most microphone stands, but just make sure that if you're buying a microphone stand with this, that you get the right sort of head. So yeah, I mean it's the shock mount will do. It's plastic with sort of like elastic string holding it together. So it's not bad for $17.99, which is what I paid for it. It's not a bad microphone at all, really, in terms of build and such, and what you get for your money. And then yeah, the pop filter. So I'll just read the specifications of the microphone. I'll just stick these all back in here. So let's get the English version up. Okay, so specification. So it's a super cardioid condenser microphone, and for people that don't know what a super cardioid condenser is, it just means it's a more sensitive microphone. The build of it, so you have condenser and dynamic microphones and lots of others, and I will go into a really in-depth video on that eventually. But pretty much it's just the way that the actual capsule itself inside this and the actual build of how it's built. So but I will go into do an in-depth video on all the different types for you eventually, because there's lots of different types of microphones that you can use. And I've just jogged the camera, so I apologise for that. Okay, so let's see. Frequency response is 20 Hz to 16 Hz. Sensitivity is minus 38 dB to plus 2 dB. Output impedance is 150 plus 30%. Okay, so what's actually relevant to you guys? Okay, so signal to noise ratio is 78 dB. And I'm just reading off the specifications. I'll put the specifications of the microphone and where you can actually buy it from in the description. So the polar pickup pattern, which again I will go into more depth in, but it's pretty much just where the where the microphone picks up the best sound. So this one is a cardioid, so it's in the shape, almost in the shape of a heart. It's new, you don't really see it here, but yeah, cardioid, you know, heart, whatever. Anyway, which pretty much picks up all the way. So I'll show you all the way. So sort of like from the back all the way around the front, and then it tries to cancel out as much noise at the back so that you don't pick up things like supposedly like road noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, and things like that, but this is really for a studio, so it is going to be a lot more sensitive than something like the dynamic microphone that I'm talking into right now, which is the Shure SM58. So first looks at it, for a really cheap microphone, I mean $17.99, you can't moan at that. In terms of, you know, it's good, built really good, and I did have a play with it earlier and it did sound okay for the price, you know, but I will do a really in-depth video on this and reviewing it properly a bit later on, once I've had a good play with it. But yeah, there was one review that said that it's a really good karaoke mic as well. So if you want a you know, you can use it as dual purpose karaoke mic that looks cool or whatever. But yeah, it looks, I mean, for the price, $17.99. I'm not gonna grumble at that. It looks cool. And I'm going to take it into the studio that we've got, and I will sit with it and have a play and see what it sounds like in a properly dead soundproofed room, because it might be that's where it shines the most. So yeah, alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope this has been helpful. If you've seen the microphone and are thinking about looking at buying it, that's what it looks like. And I shall, as I say, I shall do a review video on it in maybe a couple of weeks' time. Once I've had a play with it, I've got the studio booked out next week, so I shall bring it with me and have a play, have a sing-song into it maybe, and yeah, maybe that's where it will shine the most. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.